And we started doing this, Gray, actually, because of that last session you had about, remember that talk, the discussion we had about rewarding, sort of doing like the gamification?
Gamification, yeah.
So now what I've been doing is picking out somebody's responses that we feel, or that I feel are exemplary, and putting that in the discussion board. I ask the students if they want to be identified or not. Some of them do, some of them don't, which I think is kind of ironic, but that has helped. But using the discussions as a podcast has also been interesting because they don't have to show their face. They can do a recording. They have to be, you know, well developed in their oration of the podcast, and they have to use outside resources. But it's helped with, just like April was talking about, the sort of mundaneness of just typing things in and then, you know, having it said, or, you know, having it just be there. The responses have been really interesting with the podcast or the recorded, because that way they get to hear. It's a little more authentic, organic, you know, and it's, I think the kids on the surveys that I've used in the class to see how things are, well, they really, that's like the number one thing that they point out in my surveys, is that they enjoy having the podcast or the vidcast because it's different than just writing.
So just because you brought it up, I want to talk a little bit about the gamification aspect. You can set up a system where people get recognized, and that recognition can come with points, or it can just come with recognition. It doesn't have to be associated with points, but it can come with titles. It can come with badges. It can come with some other sort of symbolic gestures where you recognize people for most posts in a week, most in-depth posts in a week, best responses, you know, most engaging. And you can come up with clever titles for each one. You don't have to leave it in these bland terms that I just described them as, master poster or response king and queen. With these titles, and they start to look for that recognition even more than looking for the points.
So I have a question. So you mentioned we can assign badges to students. Can we do that in Canvas?
Yes, it's called Badger. Badger's the app that is tied with Canvas, and you activate it in settings. What I don't remember, I've used it before, but what I don't remember, you may have to contact Kelly in order to activate it. So Kelly Kirkland in OIT is the person you would contact.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Those are all great ideas, Todd.